As the mask debate plays out in the New York State court system, it's reigniting debate and confusion amongst parents, students, and school leaders. Some are ready to unmask, some are still concerned about spread, and others just want long-term answers about a path to normalcy. Despite the legal battle happening in the court system, we're taking questions to the state about what the future of mask wearing in schools looks like.
We plan to all take our masks off at 8 a.m. in protest of it. We shouldn't be forced to wear them 8 hours a day and only get to take them off when we're eating or drinking.
Some high school students in Cambridge are fighting the mask mandate after hearing the New York State Supreme Court struck down Governor Kathy Hochul's statewide mask mandate as unconstitutional and a violation of state law. But school leaders are still enforcing the mandate while Hochul's administration challenges the decision in court.
I was told I was not allowed to move freely in the building without a mask on, and they just told me I couldn't be in the school anymore, so they made me leave.
Students and district leaders are looking for long-term answers.
We're kind of working on an advocacy letter at our BOCES to ask the state level to give us a roadmap of how we're going to return to normalcy.
Cambridge's Dr. Douglas Silvernail is one of more than 30 educators and lawmakers who signed a letter to the governor and health commissioner. Andrew Cook, the superintendent at Hartford Central School District, wrote the letter.
We need to see a light at the end of the tunnel. We need to know where we're going. What's the next step? Because there hasn't been any discussions about metrics or taking that next step forward.
They're calling for a pathway to normalcy. The letter reads in part, quote, "In speaking with our families, the consistent message we receive is how they need to get back to normal. Frankly, they need more consistency from their schools, and we agree with that concept," end quote.
We haven't been able to engage in meaningful dialogues with the health department and the governor's office about what works for our school districts. What are our communities asking from us? How can we help in this process?
Both myself and a CBS 6 colleague emailed the State Department of Health and the governor's office with questions about the superintendent's letter and about the future of masking in schools. I asked, how will schools be impacted if the mask mandate is eventually lifted? And will they be able to make their own policy? A spokesperson for the Department of Health did not specifically answer our questions, but they referred us to statements the governor made in her recent briefings.
And the only reason we have this is because this is how we can keep our schools open.
The spokesperson also sent me the school guidance for mask wearing that was implemented back in September. Superintendents and students say they want more flexibility.
Let us work with our communities, work with our boards of education and our local county departments of health on what metrics might work for us where we can create perhaps an optional mask.
I hope the Board of Education sees that we are done and we want no masks. And people that want to wear masks, that's your choice. I won't discredit you for it, but I want the option.
And when speaking of getting back to some normalcy, some parents bring up the mental health impacts on children. I spoke with a psychotherapist from Clifton Park who says it's not necessarily the masks that are causing anxiety and depression in the kids he works with, it's the isolation. He wants parents to realize what happens if we unmask too quickly.
The reality is that if we do unmask our young people and numbers do skyrocket, we might be put in a situation where we have to go remote again, even for a little while. And that will absolutely have an impact on mental health.
We want to hear your concerns about education and the classroom. You can call our Crisis in the Classroom tip line at the number on your screen or email us at cbs6classroomtips@gmail.com.